The time now is 4:40 a.m. And when I first realized that I was targeted, someone told me that she was a gang stalker acquaintance, and she told me that there are psychologists and all kind of people involved in targeting people and playing games with the mind, and they're experts on how to break someone down emotionally. So this is a conversation with Ayanna Van Zandt and Oprah Winfrey, and I want you to see the psychological part of what's happening in targeting someone and playing mind games, and how they want to cause destruction psychologically.
I wanted a place for people to go every Sunday.
It was at the right spot, but it glitched.
Thought-provoking.
So
You couldn't have said that.
This is why I can't get online books,
This is my favorite
because
thing to
it'll
talk
start
about.
over
This will
and
lift you right
glitches.
on up.
And there are 4 primal fears. Number 1, the fear of losing someone's love or having your love rejected. The human mind just can't even handle that. The fear of being powerless or helpless, and therefore you're not safe in your being, so the fear of being unsafe. The third fear is really the number one human addiction. The number one human addiction is not chocolate, it's control. So that third fear is the fear of losing control. Control of yourself, control of others, control of what it will happen, how it will happen, when it will happen, sends the human ego into total meltdown. And then the other fear is just not being seen as valuable, worthy, necessary. So anger is really the manifestation of one of those fears. That your love is being rejected, or that it's going to be taken away, that you're going to be seen as helpless, hopeless, therefore vulnerable. And you know the ego can't stand vulnerability.
Ego can't stand vulnerable because vulnerable means weakness to the ego. So you think you're perceived as being weak and you must do something to protect yourself and to show yourself to be.
And in order not to be vulnerable, you want to maintain control. So when you can't control how somebody's doing what they're doing, there's a fear there, and that takes us into anger.
So we're beginning to, as I said last night, these classes are really a catalyst for us all to begin thinking different.
Okay, since we have powerful people that are strategizing a meltdown and to deliberately cause anger and all these emotions so they can get away with crimes, I'm just trying to help people understand that this is procedural. It's not an accident. People are taking a lot of effort and time and playing mind games. How's your son doing? Yeah, it's sunny outside. And this is who I have to be surrounded by, people that do not have my best interest at heart and are conspiring with hate. And then when I'm subjected to all of this torment and mind games, then you see the anger that they are betting on. And they've carefully orchestrated and strategized to get this reaction. And then now she's mentally ill. We won't talk about all the felonies that we repeatedly rack up and that are not being held accountable. How we're enlisting people in her environment to torment her, violate her. So I have to keep my blinds closed because I experience things that you wouldn't believe. And then I have to strategize how to get up real early so I won't get harassed and things that you wouldn't believe. So I have to sit in environments with people knowing that I've gotten death threats and then want to conspire with the death threats and cover for crimes that repeatedly happen to me. And I have to sit and marinate in that year after year, begging for and pleading for my family to help. And then they blame me for their abuse and mistreatment, gaslight me, cover for crimes, start arguments, curse me out. And then sitting in that year after year causes psychological damage. And if parties are in cahoots with psychiatrists like they are, I can say it to kingdom come, but you have evidence of all of these psychiatrists that are choosing with their power to abuse it and play mind games. With the psychiatrist Stacy at Gulf Bend, I went through all these different things in detail. She said she needed someone was shadowing the experience, so someone else was overseeing what she was doing. I spent a lot of time showing her everything. Then after all that, I showed her. She said, I don't know what's really going on. I didn't see it. And she was okay by her. That statement showed that she was okay with police repeatedly taking my freedom, tormenting me, playing mind games. She was okay with that. So then I said, okay, since you didn't see it, I'll email it to you. She said, what? Because I know how my life is and how these mental health providers are in cahoots with gaslighting and psychological abuse. I'm not eligible for counseling and treatment that other citizens get. I'm discriminated against. So I asked in advance before they set me up with her if I could have her email address. She didn't know that. So I got her email address. So I gave her all the evidence and sent her all the death threats that I had given her, and everything, all the evidence that she said she didn't see. That way I had documentation that these mental health providers were actually slandering me. So then with that, she still chose to slander me anyway, like all the rest of them. So this is just a little time out to let you see that this is procedural, it's deliberate. They know what they're doing. Each day they strategize like the other day. We know she's desperate to pay her rent, how critical that is. We'll just scam that it's a glitch with her rent payment. Each day there's a strategy to cause psychological abuse. We'll just go in there and take her ID. Nobody will ever believe it anyway. Then she'll have to start over repeatedly. And, I don't know if they were hoping that they'll set up an arrest, but I know their strategies. So I'm not going down there to solve that issue until whatever's going on with the warrants that were issued. And I had an attorney that from Northwest Texas Legal Aid that was supposed to be sorting all that out, but she's in cahoots and actually played mind games and really did very little. Okay, this was 6 minutes, but I just want you to know how it is for a targeted individual. And this is why all the mind games are played, because it's an attack on your mental clarity and mental health, deliberately.